really know how to score.
I'll explain it to her later. A woman is everything.
I think I am. We're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, it's happening tomorrow on
Marsha!
I have you on remote control, too. This is cool. We'll play with this later. How you doing? You know, I'm Marsha Warfield, and this is my show. All mine. And don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Because I'm also intelligent, creative, charming, quick-witted, and I'm a wonderful actress and extraordinary comedian. Enough about me. I want to hear what you think about me. Now, all right, how many people thought I sounded like a conceited, self-centered egomaniac? Okay, how many of you out there saying, go on, girl? Well, we're going to find out, is the me generation over? Or is it okay to look out for #1 in the nurturing 90s? Can we guiltlessly take care of our own needs and desires without the fear of what society will think? Yeah. Well, you know, there has to be some balance, and there are ways to tell when you've gone too far. Like if you get kidnapped and nobody wants to pay the ransom. But I'd like to stay. I'd like to stay and talk, but I have to go to commercial and make some more money for me. Anyway, we'll be back with my guests Yakov, Smirnoff, and Charlene Tilton after these commercials. So far, we've been talking about me, but now we're going to talk about you. You've been given tickets to Madonna's sold-out concert, but it's also the night of your parents' 25th anniversary party. Which one do you go to? Madonna. Oh, you guys are awful. Stand up. You said both?
You go to both.
How you do that?
You go to the parents real early, and then you go to the concert later.
But
or vice versa.
But what if nobody's there when you get there?
That's their problem.
Okay, but why go to the Madonna concert or at all? It's your parents.
Because you got the tickets.
But it's your parents' anniversary.
That's 25 years they've been married, right? I only got tickets one time.
All right, well, okay. Are there any people here who've been married 25 years? Huh? You have? Would you be offended if your children didn't show up at your anniversary party?
Well, if it was a party, yes, I would. I'd be hurt.
You would?
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't forgive them if they decided to go see the Madonna? You would forgive them?
Well, sure.
But you would be hurt?
Yes, I think I would. I wouldn't do that to my parents. My parents are...
And that's what you would tell your children, isn't it? You say, I wouldn't do that to my parents, and you would make them feel real guilty, wouldn't you?
No, maybe a little. Yeah, okay.
All right.
A little bit. But I don't think, in the first place, if it was my parents, I'd know better when I got the tickets that it was on their anniversary. So I wouldn't have gotten the tickets. I would have made them for a different night.
But it's a gift. The tickets are a gift.
So then it didn't cost me anything, did it? You know, I think my folks are more important.
All right. What's the difference, though, in being selfish and looking out for yourself?
Yeah, I think when you start hurting other people, that's where the selfishness probably comes in.
What if you didn't mean to hurt them?
You know if you're doing it or not. I think so.
Do I have to change who I am to not hurt you?
Well...
So, stand up. Some people always have...
Some people are always going to have different opinions of what you do And you know, it's up to you. If you feel right about what you're doing, then it's fine. If other people don't like it, they're not gonna like it, but it's up to you.
But what do you know, like what if it's your best friend and you're up for the same job? Do you wish that person well, or do you step on their face and try to get the job?
You wish that person well, but
While you step on their face.
Well, I mean, if it's a matter of a job that you're working for, I mean, and you're both fighting for it, I mean, each one of you has the same right.
All right, well, I have to do what I have to do, and I have to look out for me, so I'm going to commercial, and we'll come back with my guests, Charlene, Tilton, and Yakov Smirnoff after these commercials. Please help me welcome my guest, one of your favorites from Dallas, actress Charlene Tilton, and a man who proves comedy has no boundaries, Yakov Smirnoff. Help me say hello. Have a seat.
This is nice here.
Thanks.
Great.
Thanks. It's so much fun having you here.
All the comforts of home, we can move right in.
Yeah. Do you have water guns at home?
Oh, well, water guns and...
Come on.
Oh, wait. Watch the mascara!
All right. This is I've never done that with a celebrity. That's fun.
I feel like Gorbachev. Now, hold on, guys.
Let's see. No. How are you?
Great.
See, we were having a Yakov Smirnoff laugh contest while you were waiting out there, and I think that lady right there won.
No, a lady won.
The lady
Yeah.
laughs like this?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You want to hear?
Yeah.
Come on.
Sounds like moose in heat.
Well, most of us have never heard that,
Yeah,
Yakov.
right. I did, yeah.
So how is it that we're talking about me, us, the me generation? How do you feel about that? What is the difference between a healthy ego and somebody who's gone too far?
Oh, boy. It's really a very fine line in my mind, you know, because a lot of times we want to do it, you know, to get some approval from the people, and then where do you stop? It's very difficult. But I think it boils down to self-esteem. You know, if you have a good self-esteem and you can say, well, was I honest? Did I have integrity? And if you can base it on inside of you, I think that's much healthier than just trying to get an outside validation.
Have you ever been in a position where you have put aside what you want for another person?
Well, of course. I'm a martyr from way back. I don't need, you know, having a child, and you'll find out soon enough.
What, you having a kid?
Not me, my wife.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
That'll be what? A half pint of Smirnoff? Okay. Now back.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Go ahead. Little girl coming out going.
Oh, that's pathetic.
The baby doesn't cry. She just goes.
Oh, that's funny.
But you were talking about having children and having a self-esteem.
Well, having a career and a daughter. For example, the times when I've been doing plays and things like that, and you get home late, and by the time you unwind and all like that, you know, it's late. But I'm up every morning, you know, to get her breakfast, get her off to school, and we have a housekeeper. I mean, I suppose I don't need to do it, but then I think years down the line, yeah, I do need to do it. It's really important. So I lose some sleep or something, or now that she's really involved in school and everything, my life is her homework. So my scripts and my studying and whatever come later. You lose, you know, a few hours sleep, but it's worth it in the long run. To me, it's not a sacrifice. There's nothing I'd rather do than just be with my daughter and spend time with her. You know, we're best buddies. I love that kid, you know.
Great. Is there a new generation in Russia?
Well, we didn't call it that way, you know. No, they basically were telling us what to do. And in that environment, people work very hard, you know, and government doesn't pay very much. You know, people pretend that they're working, government pretend that they're paying. It's like the post office here, you know. But when I was growing up, I looked at that and I said, I want to live different life. I want to be able to do something that I want to do. And comedy was something I enjoyed. And I was telling my parents, I'd like to do comedy, and they would say, well, we'll see. You know, and then we came to America, and I said, I want to do comedy, and they said, well, we'll see. Now everything is fine. I bought them a house, and they're happy. And when I got a commercial contract, I called my parents, and I said, I'm going to be making commercials. And my parents said, when can we put the pool in? And I said, we'll see.
But that is one thing that is nice about having dreams such as, you know, you did and I did as a child growing up, and then reaching those dreams and getting to help your parents and your mom. You know, for me, I really get a lot of enjoyment out of that, and it just really makes you feel very good that you can do that. I help my mom all the time, and I'm with her, so.
Wait, now you say your parents and your daughter their needs are bigger than you sometimes. What other things are
my daughter definitely
bigger than you that you would consider yourself, you know, like that you would always make sacrifices for them?
In my case, I think the parents and the family, my wife and the child that is.
And NBC. That's why I have to go to commercial. And we'll be back with my guests, Charlene, Tilton, and Yakov Smirnoff after this. We've been talking about the me generation, and it's, still play. Go right ahead, have fun.
This is fun.
Speaking of children.
Yeah.
But are we comfortable when our children assert themselves, when they decide that they want to stand up for themselves? What do you mean, what age? I don't know. You have kids?
4 years old.
I've got 3 kids. My youngest is 19, and I think when the kids are little, I have a tendency to, you know, you want them to be nice and share and do things. When they get older, I want them to think for themselves, so I don't know where you get that line, but...
But when do you stop saying, do what I do? I mean, do what I say, and not what I do, and then this is my house, and I make the rules. When are you comfortable with them saying, Ma, I'm going out, and I'll be back when I see you?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well,
no.
I got comfortable this last year. We only had 1 kid at home. He's in the Army. He's off. He's at Fort Leonard Wood now. I got comfortable with him because I trusted him. He was a pretty good kid, and I trusted him. So when he said he was going, I figured he could handle it.
When do you give up the right to approve of your children's choices?
Never.
You never? Stand up and come out here and tell me about it.
Oh, boy.
You never give that up?
No, because, well, for one thing, I'm always going to be mother. I don't care how old they become, I'm going to be mother. And I care about, well, I care, yes, I'm not saying don't give up the right for them to think, but I'm saying I don't give up the right to care, because to feel about what they do.
But what if you don't approve of their decisions?
Well, I have the right not to approve of their decision. They have the right to do what they think is right. We both are individuals. I have my right, they have their rights.
Okay, but, all right. Do you feel that way about your daughter?
I do. Boy, when you have your own child, it's real tough to let go, and I know I'm going to be terrible at it when the time comes. I tell you, when that time comes, when she hits 45, I'm I'll let her go out on her first date with the chaperone. I mean, oh, I'm going to be the worst. I'm going to be the worst.
But Yakov, I mean...
My child is doing great.
Here's a question for you, Yakov.
Yes.
What if your child decides at 17, 18, he wants to go back to Russia?
Well, if a child has behavior problem, that's fine. You know, a couple of days in the Soviet Union will cure it right up. You know?
Are there any people here who are adults and still look to their parents for approval?
Absolutely.
Do you?
Well, I think a lot of people, and I'd say yes, and I would say a lot of people in the audience probably do that. They might admit it or not, but I think that happens, and it's nice if parents are not possessive and let them be. That's wonderful, but it doesn't happen very often. Parents get addicted to a child being controlled by them, and they can pull the strings at any time. And I don't think it's fair, personally, but it does happen.
But what if you don't agree with something your parents are doing? Can you, I mean, will they pull rank and say, hey, but I'm the adult here? Or I mean, you're both adults, but...
I think at this point, I think it's both ways. I can pull some strings, too, and sometimes I don't...
You can pull some strings and do what, Yakov? Yeah, I can pull some strings and send you back, you know, old lady.
Well, parents become like, you know, when parents get older, they become like kids in a way. There's a role reversal. And, yeah, and it happens. And sometimes all of a sudden I feel like a parent sometimes. You know, I took my parents one time to Hawaii, and we were staying at the nice hotel there, and they showed those adult movies on TV, you know, like sex movies and stuff. And they charge like $5, $6 for a movie, and my dad did not know that they're charging, so he figures he'll get away without anybody knowing that. I get a bill for the room. I go, Dad, adult entertainment, $180? and he said, I just wanted to learn English, you know.
That's a great line. I saw a hand over here earlier.
Yeah, I just think how you look towards your parents. I'm very independent and pretty much on my own, but I still look to them for their approval because I respect their opinion. And them approving me is a sign saying, wow, this is a value I respect, and so therefore I'm just seeing it kind of mimicked in them and in their approval.
Okay.
Parent is just to kind of guide the child where they want to go anyhow,
Your job
isn't
as a
it?
parent is to guide the child?
Well, yeah, you know, when they're little, they don't know what they want to do, but as you kind of raise them and put good values in them and they get older, then they can decide what they want to do. You're just there to guide them and get them out the door.
Right, that's fine and dandy in theory, but is that really going to work in practice? You know,
if you keep an open, honest relationship, and if they ask you questions, don't just say things, the cliches like, because I told you so, or do as I say, not as I do. If you don't do those things and you really explain and have an open relationship and say, that's not good because of X, whatever reasons. And if you explain it to them, and, you know, I mean, as best you can, and they really learn by your example, the examples that you set.
You know, we could get into this a lot, because I feel like, you know, if that's nice, but there were books like Romeo and Juliet, there were plays like West Side Story. People do interfere in their children's lives, and things do happen, so how do you know how not to be that type of parent?
Yeah.
You know, how do you know? I don't know. All I know is we have to go to commercial, and we'll come back and talk about this some more with my guest, Charlene, Tilton, and Yakov Smirnoff after this commercial. We're back, and we've been talking with my guests, Charlene Tilton and Yakov Smirnoff, about the me generation and you know, making yourself first. Well, I don't know if that's always the best thing to do, but my mother always told me it's a poor dog who can't wag his own tail. So, I would like to thank you, Charlene Tilton, and this is?
Cherish.
Hi, Cherish. We've heard a lot about you. And Yakov, you will be doing a world tour that starts in Moscow. Moscow, say it for me.
Moscow.
Moscow. Did I say it
Good
right?
for you, yeah.
And ends in Moscow, Idaho.
That's right.
That's funny. And then you'll be at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas, the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, July 10th through the 15th. And you're expecting the baby when?
October.
October. Wonderful. And you were at the White House.
Yeah.
And this is your wife?
This is my wife.
And these
you
people?
know those people.
All right, those are the Bushes.
The Bushes.
And this is you. Well, it's a pleasure having you both. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And you. We'll be back with more interesting people and talk about more interesting stuff. Have a good day. Bye.
I'm Jackie Bang. Today on Channel 5 News at noon, Norman Mark reviews the latest Tom Cruise movie, Days of Thunder. That and all the day's news at noon.